Feel good on 99 FM.
You and I are meeting in the studio right now because I've got three ladies, very vibrant ladies for that matter, who are part of 13 student internship program at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and they are from the University of Namibia. Now, just to give you a backstory, the Ministry of Mines and Energy is actually committed to empowering Namibia's youth. Now, they do this through education and skill development, offering internship programs in collaboration with the institutions of higher learning. We're talking UNAM, NUST, as well as IUM, and they do all this to equip young professionals with the practical experience needed to thrive in the workplace. Of course, the three ladies joining us today will be giving us an insight on the assigned tasks that they also got in terms of this. This also included hands-on experience with the Geographic Information System, otherwise known as GIS, and remote sensing, known as RS. That's remote sensing software and applications. GIS web map development. Look, I'm out of my alley. But they are here to tell me all about that, just like they are keeping you on your toes, and everything in between, really. Okay, the three ladies joining me in the studio this morning is Ama Gengos. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Chante. How are you?
Great, thank you very much. Cassie Besodenhout also here with us. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chante. How are you?
Great, thank you very much. And of course, last but not least, Julie Nadel, also part of the three ladies joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Chante. How are you?
I'm great, thank you very much. 99 FM, that's where you're at. If you're just joining in, it is the crossover. I'm not running solo. You can hear the excitement. It gets a little lonely in here today. It's not a Wednesday, so it's not Woman Crush Wednesday, but it's a thriving Thursday, and I've got ladies who are thriving in their field, all right? Maybe just to give us a backstory, you know, we're getting the names. We're hearing it's Amma, we're hearing it's Cassia, we're hearing it's Julie, but give us a background about who you are and, of course, your fields of study.
I am an introverted yet very passionate.
Did you say introvert?
Yeah.
Stop playing. But anyway, we'll continue with that another day.
I'm a very passionate geology student studying at the University of Namibia, all the way from the southern campus in Keetmanshoop.
Ooh, nice.
I'm a third year or fourth year geology student, also studying at the University of Namibia in Keetmanshoop.
Right.
I really love geology and I'm passionate about geology in Namibia.
I'm curious, before we get to Cassia, were you the girlie who everybody knew in the class when you were in the geography class? They just knew you sat in the front.
Yeah, I was that girl.
You're taking me back to school. I love it. Talk to us, Cassia.
Casey Besodenhout, I go from a small town, Grootfontein, and I'm a fourth year geology student at the University of Namibia. And to be honest, I did not like geology. My journey did not start with geology. And
listen.
So yeah.
There's always that one. There's always that one. They didn't sit in the front of the class.
No,
but
look
at
at the front.
Next to her.
Okay, look, now my theory just went out the window. Nonetheless, we will be talking all things in between, and especially that is the internship program at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, right? They are from the University of Namibia, as indicated there. I think I wanted to just jump straight into it. Maybe give us an insight on the current projects or work that you have been working on at the Mines and Energy Ministry.
Okay, so I have been assigned to the Division of Economic Geology, which I'm very passionate about.
Okay.
And I've been working under the supervision of Miss Ingem Bidi.
All right.
My task was to identify rock units in Namibia that contain agro-minerals. And what this will do is it will allow us to know where in Namibia we can find these agro-minerals and how we can utilize them to then produce fertilizers that farmers can use.
Listen, I'm sure there's somebody in the office right now and they're thinking of that geography teacher and they're like, this girl is doing what I want to do. Maybe I should go back to that. But yeah, go ahead.
I've actually been working on two projects. The first one is actually mapping status of Kaukofeld in Opua, that's in northwest Namibia. So this area is not really defined geologically. We don't know much about the geology there. So I was assigned or tasked by my supervisor, Dr. Schreiber, to basically do data and literature review on different types of geologies to see the gaps in the mapped zones and the unmapped zones. I know it's a lot of geology, but we are doing it for the betterment of the country.
Okay.
And the other project is looking closely at African geodata. If you look at the African continent as a whole, we also have gaps in how we share geoscientific data. So we want to create some type of meta data platform where we can kind of have all of this information and have a proper way of disseminating it for all types of geologists, researchers, academics. Basically anyone, small-scale miners as well.
That includes you if you're sitting there and you're thinking, you guys are talking about geoscience, geology, but what is this? Wait, before we get to that, let's talk about the significance of student internships. Talk us through that.
The significance of student internships are very important. If I have to personalize it, we learn so much in the classroom. It's very theoretical. But then the question you should ask yourself is, okay, so what? If it's so theoretical, does it have any use? You have to apply what you learn. So an internship is the perfect place to apply all the skills that you have learned in class and kind of also put it to the test. And to be honest, from one student to another, we only really remember the things that we have done practically.
True.
We know the books where it's just for the exams and then it's done. But then when you come and apply what you've learned, it's sort of like, wow, now I know, and you kind of get confidence. So the companies that are doing internships, institutions that are focusing on internships, I suggested they keep on doing it because the youth is really happy to do it.
All right. Kudos to the Ministry of Mines and Energy for making sure that 13 students get to have this experience. And also, I mean, it is, of course, an aspect of picking up some skills as well. Yes, Cassia, you want to add on to the internship part?
Would also love to thank MTC.
Yeah.
Because they are the let's say, the foundation in also helping students find internships. Because we know the job opportunities in Namibia. Sometimes all a student or a graduate or whatever would ever experience is an internship, and it's such a good way for you to see how life is actually outside of the class. Like you can read, but Kuchane, do you know like how a rock looks? Do you know how the water looks? So I think it's a very important thing.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Now to the actual thing, I'm sure somebody's mom is sitting out there looking at their daughter like, listen, if you're not going to explain to me what this geoscience, geology thing is that these girls are talking about, we're going to have a problem because I sent you to school. But I think that question wouldn't have to rest with them. It best suits you guys. So maybe if you can, just talk to us a little bit about what geoscience or geology is really in general.
To start it off simply, do you know where the water comes from that's in your tap? Do you know where the makeup comes from that you put on your face? The foundation, the mascara, the jewelry from Lovisa. Do you know the road, the very road you walk on? That's geology. Geology is the science of the... Geology is what you walk on. Geology is the mother of everything.
Nice.
What you use in the bathroom, the kitchen, the car, the diapers, everything. Geology is basically just the study of Earth, and it's like pivotal to know what geology is. And some people are just like, it's a rock. Water comes from a rock.
Yeah.
Powder comes from a rock. Diamonds that help the economy of the country come from the rock.
Yeah.
You know, gold comes from a rock.
Okay.
So there's more to geology than just a rock. It is the mother of everything, basically, in a nutshell.
All those siblings who were just debating about geology, and somebody asked you what geology is, and you said it's a rock. We just had class day. Okay, and I hope you were very present in terms of that. 99 FM, that's where you're at. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, on the other side of things, of course, these ladies will get to just share in an insight, especially when it comes to encouraging others. That means you to do an internship or even the study of geology. 99 FM, that's where you are at. Truth Hurts with Addictive. It does get a little that much interesting when you are tuned into 99 FM, especially in a day like this Thursday, where we have, you know, the Ministry of Mines and Energy bring us into a little bit of a lens when it comes to, that is, three vibrant ladies who are part of a 13 students basically who have gone through an internship program at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Of course, the three in studio are from the University of Namibia. We've got Amma Gengos, Cassia Besenot, as well as Julie Nadel. They're, of course, here to share with us a little bit about that experience. Right now, it looks like we are having time hating on us, but we still have a couple of things to chat about. And I think just on the encouragement side of things, what would you encourage others to do in terms of an internship, but also just studying geology in general? What advice can you give anybody out there?
Well, studying geology is definitely, to most of us, something that we didn't know yet, but we discovered. So if you have a great passion for the Namibia's economic resources, if you have a great passion for outdoor exploration and experiences, then geology is definitely for you. If you love science, if you love technology, if you love coding, if you love data, then it's the place to be. And with regards to an internship, you should definitely take on it. I know some of my peers in second year were not too keen on internships because they felt they weren't ready. But how will you be ready if you don't try? So to any youth out there, please do study geology at the Southern Campus in Keetmanshoop. And come for an internship if you get the chance to.
Nice.
Okay, sorry, to add on to that, to be a bit more personal on the geology side, I never knew, water comes from rocks, and I'm from Chimep, so we have an arsenic problem where the water is has a lot of scale, white, and it's not good for your health. So as someone from a village or a small town, or even a big town like Windhoek, you can be like, okay, no, my people in my town are suffering, the arsenic, and that ties in with geology. You can use that as motivation to improve your town, to improve your economy, everything. So geology can be something personal for you. It can be something for the country, something international. So yeah, and I would like to say the Ministry of Mines and Energy, they really did a great job at pushing us and letting us also lead and giving us an opportunity to show who we are, because sometimes in a class you can be a bit shy, but when you come to another space you can be like, this is a new space. I can show who I am apart from just studying for a test and getting 80 or 70%.
Nice.
So yeah, I would like to say it's a great opportunity, man.
That's the balance the ladies were talking about earlier. Theory is very different from experience, especially if you're in the workplace, and I think that jumps off from there. But we got to wrap it up, and I think just to seal it, through doing this work and studying geology, what especially has been striking to you about this field? And maybe this is a good time to ask you if you know any fun facts you can share with us.
Okay, starting off with the internship, what I learned about geology. Okay, so previously agrogeology was a foreign term to me. I didn't know what it was. But when I started, I had to do a literature review. And I found that most African countries implement agrogeology. They use their rocks to grow their crops and to sustain their population. So that was very interesting for me. It was also interesting to think about how agrogeology, you use the earth to replenish the earth. Which is a term they call georestoration. So I found that very interesting. And then a fun fact about geology, lithium is actually found in rocks, guys.
Bam! If you want to start a conversation with that guy you like, start there by that lithium story. Maybe the conversation will get further.
And another striking thing is medical geology. No, don't worry, we're not doctors. But medical geology is a study of how geological materials and processes, such as earth processes, can have an effect on human health. It's not always negative. It can also be positive. It's very broad. So I knew the term, but like Julie said, it wasn't too familiar with me. And what's inciting about this is that not a lot of African countries are practicing it, but we're getting there. So with the hopes that Namibia can also be on that map, it will be perfect.
Nice.
And a fun fact is I'm a very literature girl. So some of the oldest rocks are found in Namibia, and it's almost 2 billion years old.
Listen. Do I need that geology or geography class when I get the ladies here? I don't know. But I'm also feeling like you tuned in right now. What's that last one you can share with us?
A very cool fun fact. You know, geology can also be tourism. It's called geotourism or geoheritage. You know, like the Now Cliff. You know, when you go vacation with your family, or even to do your research, that is geology. The beautiful mountains, the folds, the Fish River Canyon. Guys, that is geology. Geology is just not a boring thing. It's your... Guys,
you know somebody's passionate when the words are becoming minimal. We can hear it. We can also feel it. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. And hopefully we won't be getting the last of you. We are looking forward to now having our lens zoomed into your lives. So thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, we sincerely apologize for the delayed news, but your news is coming up. That's the 3 vibrant ladies who are part of a 13-student internship program at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. And of course, they got to join me in studio to share with us a little bit about their internship journey and everything in between when it comes to geology and geoscience, really. We got to know new terms, geotourism, geoheritage. Google the things, but also maybe you might want to check out. So that is the Ministry of Mines and Energy social media pages for all updates. Every Thursday, we get to have a little something like this right here on the show, compliments of the Ministry of Mines and Energy.
Feel good on 99 FM.